Ooh, it's a T. Welcome to Codemas Day 2. Today was a very long day and it was also awesome because we put up the Christmas tree, and no Christmas tree should be without presents under it. So I was thinking that tomorrow I should show you the decoration of the tree and also create a simple React application that will be something like Secret Santa. So in order to do this, I wanted to first talk about some React concepts. Basically the React 16 hooks, useState and useEffect. I want to talk about them in order to explain what they do and how they work, and also show you some examples on code. Regarding the useState hook, we use it in order to set the state of a component. The state is an object that shows how a component is at a given time. So for example, let's say that I have a logged in state. Maybe I'm logged in or I'm not. So the component knows if I am or not. Maybe we have a timer, and inside the state we save the value of the time. useEffect is used when side effects happen in the component. A side effect is, for example, getting data from an API. So let's create a basic React application and show you how they work. So npx create React app, basic hooks. It will take some time to install, so I will skip the installation and see you in Visual Studio Code. First thing, let's get our project running. And go inside the app.js component. Where is it? Here it is. So let's delete everything from here and create a simple button. Nice. This button will have an onClick handler, which will be named onClick. Simple as that. And it will be here const onClick equals to a function. Nice. Then we will create the useState hook. So useState, and we will name it num. Oops. Which will initially be 0. So we need another, let's make it h1, which will show the num value. Let's go to Chrome and see how it looks. Simple 0. What I want is that every time I click this button, this number should increase by 1 for now. So we will call the setNum function and pass inside the num plus 1. Now let's give some space and explain this syntax here. So useState is a hook that takes the initial value of our state as a parameter. For this one it is 0, and then it returns an array of 2 values. The first value is, in our case, num, the value of the state, the current value of the state. And the second one is a setter method that updates, let's say, the state value. So what we are doing here in onClick, we say call the setNum method and give it a parameter of num plus 1. So basically the value of num plus 1. Let's go to Chrome and see what happens. So click me, it increases by 1. Click me again, it increases by 2. And just works. Now what happens if I want to call this setNum method many times? Let's make it 2. Click me to maybe increase 2. So let's see what will happen here. Let's refresh and click this button. We see that it's not 2, it is 1. And if I click it again, it's 2 and 3 and 4. It does not update twice. This happens because setting the state happens asynchronously, and by the time we call setNum the second time, this one has already been set and re-rendered the component, so this one is basically disregarded. This is not the whole story, but this is a basic idea. In order to make it work, because we can make it work, is to change num. Let's name it prev and make it a callback function. So by passing a callback function to a state setter, we say give me the previous value and then increase the previous value by 1. Now when React is about to update the state, it will patch all those setters together and give us the final result. So if I save and go back to the Chrome and refresh and click the button, we will see that it updates correctly 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and so on and so forth. So basically it's a good habit to pass callback functions inside the state setters. Let's remove this button and also this and rename this to time and set time. useState, it will be null at first, or maybe let's make it 0. We will make a simple counter. This time we will use the useEffect, which is also a hook that takes a function as a first parameter that returns another function as a cleanup, and the second parameter of useEffect is a dependency array. So if the dependency array is empty, the useEffect will be called only once when the component mounts, but if we have a value here and this value changes, the useEffect will be called the first time the component is mounted and also when this value changes. So let's keep it empty and also remove the cleanup. Actually, we will keep the cleanup. We will implement a cleanup function. So what we want is to create a set interval that will run every 1000 milliseconds, basically a second, and when it will run, it will call the set time that will get the previous value and increase the previous by 1. Also, it will return a clear interval that will take the timer as a value, which will be this set interval. So basically a set interval returns a a number, which is the ID of the interval, and if we assign it to a value, we can later clean it. So let's save and actually change also this in order to avoid having high errors. Let's go back here. So as we see, every second the number increases by 1. So yeah, that's it. That's the short version of how useEffect and useState work in React. They are very useful, they are very powerful, yet simple, but they can lead to many headaches if they are used wrong. So remember to always clean your effects and also make sure that you only pass what is actually needed inside the dependency array, and make sure to use the state correctly. For example, as we saw when we increased by 2, what happened. So yeah, we will use both of those tomorrow when we will create the Secret Santa application. Can't wait, have a wonderful day.